Hey, what's up, Internet? You're watching The Legend of the Traveling Tardis. I'm Paparazzo Dave Chapman, and stay tuned, because we've got some fun. Ah, that's the wrong button. We're live, and I'm putting the wrong button in. Now, let's try that in. Even though we're live, I'm going to do that again. You're in for some fun.
My name is Christian Basil. Years ago, I had an idea. I got myself a TARDIS. Took it to new places, met a lot of new people, took some great pictures, and talked Doctor Who. From Krypton Radio and the creators of the Hanging With web show, this is the legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Join me on my latest adventures and become part of the legend.
Hello again, fellow Whovians. I am very clearly not Christian Basil. This is very clearly not the actual Traveling TARDIS.
No.
But you are watching The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Nope. Mel's is not bad it down. Nope. Christian is not here this week. And so when the cat is away, the rats will play. I'm here from TheRatHole.ca. We're going to talk some games.
Yes.
Yay! But first, we've got our regular crew out here. Down below me, we've got Melanie, Pieces of Melee. Or is it Melee, or is it...
Melee. Melee.
Oh, right.
Melee.
Sorry, I pretend to be Christian again.
Sorry.
It's
okay.
A lot of Christian
it's
jokes.
Pieces of Melee. It became the whole idea, the whole name was because literally that was my gamer tag. My gamer tag was Ms. Melee. That's what it was. My style of play is Melee. I just grab weapons and go in there. I Leroy Jenkins stuff. That's what I do. Close range, and I just button mash. So it just everything with the joke was I would just leave pieces of Melee around me, and that's what it kind of happened. And funny enough, a lot of artists that they end up being gamer tags. Funny enough. So yes, Christian's not here. As you guys might have noticed. So it is going to be us three kind of having fun with our awesome host tonight here. Not Jody, Dave. But yeah, hello everybody.
Jody would be more fun. Let's be honest.
Oh my God, Jody would be amazing if we had her here. But yeah, oh Lord, guess what, y'all? He's lurking.
Oh boy.
The man is lurking. The man is lurking.
I am in so much trouble for that opening now because it's terrible.
This person who can't lurk, the person who always never lurks and is close to our heart, I'm going to now toss it over to Mackenzie Floor.
Woo!
That's how you segue, Christian.
Yeah. And I am Mackenzie Floor. I'm the author of the Write-A-One series, and the next book in the series, The Right of Application, I can say today won a book award. Woohoo!
Woo!
Get it, girl.
Yes. Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah.
Yay! So we're gonna skip most of the regular. We're not gonna do Who Knew News, except we are, because there is one piece that I kind of wanted to mention. Big Finish Audio announcing they're going to end their main line of Doctor Who audio.
Their main range.
And it's not that main range. Sorry, and that's not saying they're ending Doctor Who audio. Mm-hmm. They're not doing that. It's basically just changing the release schedule, and they're going to one Doctor per month of a box set. Which, for someone like us, who's been saying for as long as I've been on this show, hey, let's do some more reviews on Big Finish. Now we have less new stuff to choose from. So this is going to be great for us.
Yes.
But it also gives them a little bit more freedom to carry things through for each Doctor and have less muddle, because that's something that a lot of their fans have said over the years.
Me included.
Yeah, me too.
It goes to a point where everyone, if you're trying to get into Big Finish and you don't know where to start, it's kind of, oh God, I'm about to say convoluted to somebody who's not used to audio and is just firstly getting in there and they're like, wait, what? There's so much out there. So I think at least also maybe in a post-COVID world where everyone's trying to streamline their processes and trying to get everything in track and everyone's working from home now, I think it's a great, great idea for Big Finish to kind of go, look, what we're going to do is we're going to stop doing the main range as we know it, and we're going to start focusing on these other doctors one by one by one. And that way you're delivering the audience, us, content that we really, really crave in a timely manner. And, you know, everyone can kind of focus on not tight deadlines, not craziness. They're probably somewhere, you know.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
They're all yelling at me like, Melanie, you have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, I know, but I'm just saying kudos to y'all and everybody who's reading, oh God, they're stopping their main range. Don't freak out.
Yeah. I'm curious what they're going to do with things like the spin-offs, you know, your Iris Wild Times and your Susan series, because they've been expanding Susan.
Yes.
And all of that, like where are those going to fit in? If they are, maybe they won't. And oh boy, Kristen.
Oh
no. Yeah, so we'll see where those go, and it'll be interesting to see what happens when Jodie leaves. And we have 13 doctors in 12 months.
And don't forget, we still haven't seen any of the 9th Doctor stuff just yet.
Yeah.
And that was announced that Eccleston is coming in. He's going to be doing a lot of 9 content. So it's not like we're not going to have brand new, amazing things that we're all still on the edge of our seats for.
And they specifically said box set when they said that.
Yes.
So that makes perfect sense. And that also stands to reason we'll probably see that like September, which makes a lot of sense. Just production time wise, that makes sense.
Yep.
But speaking of 9, speaking of 10, speaking of all of those doctors, because that's what we're doing today.
Yes.
Again, that's how you do a segue.
Christian.
I've got some games behind me, as I always do, but I actually have some, you know, not just on my shelves, but also set up here. So I wanted to take a look at a few games, some that are new, some that have just been very popular and I've had a lot of questions asked of me. And since it is the holiday season for most people, it is that time of year where you're looking for presents, you're looking for stuff for yourself. You can check all the reviews out. Melanie just put it up there, TheRatHole.ca/who. That has all of my Doctor Who reviews, all of these games, any games coming forward. I've got a couple of the role-playing game reviews coming up over the next few months as well. But let's start with Outset Media, Keys to the TARDIS. People have asked me about this because they see it in the background because it is so bright and colorful. That's it there. And I'm just going to move over here and we will take a look. So there is Keys to the TARDIS. Oh, that's not the one you want to lie. There we go.
Dave's back.
Woo! Yeah, that's okay. You can have my back. You can have. Look, see, there's like. You don't want to ever wonder why I say paparazzo? There you go.
There you go.
So this game is an interesting one. It's based on the previous game, Keys to the Castle. So you're trying to make it basically from one end of the castle to the other, and they've rescreened it surprisingly well. For a Doctor Who theme, it makes a lot of sense. The TARDIS has a key. One thing I love about it, and I said it's how photogenic and it is that box color. Like as we go through, you're going to see all these other covers are all blues, they're purples, they're the space colors, right? Yeah, there we go. They're all kind of, at best, you got purple, but this is bright.
Yes.
And I love it. So how it plays, you've got a grid here. In the center is the TARDIS control room. Shocking. The only way you can get in there, you can't move directly into it. You need to actually be transported into that. I'll come back to that. But you get to choose your doctor. I've got the War Doctor here.
Yes.
Because I love it. But they do have all of the modern doctors. So they've got everything from 9 up. So speaking of 9, there he is there.
I'm sad. The modern doctors. Oh, no Peter Cushing.
Yeah.
It does make sense. I mean, it's a little bit of a difference in licensing really, between your Classic Who and your New Who. So it does make a certain amount of sense. And this is a game that suits a younger audience as well. It can get cutthroat, but it is not intrinsically difficult.
Okay.
so it is really good. And the Keys to the Castle is a step down again, but because this has some card-based stuff, so it does have some language requirements. But you start the game off with a hand of 3 cards. You select your doctor. I'm just going to use one doctor. Another doctor would be on any side you want.
Yeah.
So there's only 2 players straight across.
How many players can you go up to?
Up to 4.
Is this up to 4? So it's minimum 2, up to 4.
Correct.
And if somebody's like, if you have a square table, it doesn't matter if you're looking at the cards. There's no real upside down like player placement.
No, they're all. You can see all the tiles are square as well. Makes no. There'll be a little bit, and as I flip them over, you'll see that. Card wise, it makes almost no difference. Because there are some that'll go on there. So that's not a hard thing. The only real thing is, like I said, if it's 2 players, if you're going opposite sides, just for scale purposes. This entire table is a 6-foot table. So here's your 3-foot mark right here. This is about 2.5 feet. So it's not a small game because you want enough space to be able to flip these over. And you want a little bit of space to, have it around. But you can kind of get away with it on a 3x3 if you need to. So you draw a card. And what you have to do, you've got all these different colored tiles. You need to play, you draw, then you play a card. So I'm going to play this little yellow card. And they've got all the different characters and peoples in the series. That's Danny Pink. So I'm going to play that. And I can now flip over any yellow tile. I can this one, this one, this one, this one. I'm probably going to do the one right in front of me. Now that one's actually got a special icon on it. It's got a TARDIS key. What this means is when I move onto that tile, not when I flip it, but when I move onto it, I can now flip over one more tile anywhere else on the board.
Okay.
It does not give me a whole other turn. It just lets me flip another tile, open or close. So I could actually flip one that's open back over to block another player.
Ah, okay.
So once you've played the card, done whatever it does, you move. Now I would get to flip that over. Again, I can flip over anything on the board, but I'm going to flip over the one that's right in front of me. And that's that transporter tile. Just kind of generic transporter-ish art. But I don't get to do anything else. So then the next player would go. I'll just grab Jody here. I'm not going to flip cards. I'm just going to put her on there. And I can see her. So now I would get to do the same sort of thing. I get to play, I'm going to play a sonic screwdriver. This opens or closes, again, any door.
That's
the art on these changes. Yep, they have all sorts of different Sonics on here. The nice thing about having a bunch of cards.
Christian just put a message in saying he's going to host the show from now on.
All right,
so you know, just from YouTube.
Excellent. I was wondering how long. Please note, 15 minutes and I've been fired.
And anybody, if you have any questions or comments, please just drop them up in the chat.
That was actually my watch, my Apple Watch, and my phone. This camera is my phone. So my Apple Watch tried to think I was doing something.
But yeah, if you have any questions or comments, please drop them in the chat, and I will pop them up there, just like Leroy Jenkins, and I'll make sure that Dave can answer them.
Exactly. I'll finish this off really quickly. I've got a trivia question before we go to commercial because I know we're getting close to that point.
Yeah, a little bit.
So again, I draw another card. I get to play a card. I don't have to unlock that, but I played the sonic screwdriver. I've got to draw, so I played that. I'm going to open up, say, this one. That's the Dalek. Dalek blocks that door.
Exterminate.
Yep. And then I get to move into any open space. That's this one. Transporter automatically takes me into that center spot. I won't be able to leave there.
Okay.
They take their turn. Next turn, I would draw. Oh, I'm going to play a jam cookie because, of course, you can't use the trademark name. So, generic jam cookie.
You can't say Jammy Dodger. No.
Yeah.
So they say jam cookie.
Yeah. So I've now blocked that Dalek. That Dalek has been defeated. If I want to, I can move there.
The Jammy Dodger. That's awesome.
Some of your other cards, they do.
Need to actually eat that. I have that. If we have a Jammy Dodger, we have to be able to eat one.
Exactly. Some of the other stuff you've got a time barrier, which actually blocks a door. So I can put that down. Sonic screwdriver will get rid of that. There is a time tunnel. You can only ever move up, down, orthogonally. This goes diagonally between 2 open tiles. Doesn't even have to be an open tile, but you can't move into it unless it's open. And then there's a Cyberman assault, which lets you move another player. where that gets to be neat is, so this person wants to get to here. You have to get to the opposite side of the board, last row, to win the game. I'm here. She's about to win. I play that Cyberman Assault. Move. Automatically transported back to there.
Oh.
Okay.
So it can get, and I had a game where we had Pandorica's Box, which I think I said there, actually takes away your turns. Froze someone there. There was a Dalek here, and we dropped in time barriers all over them, and they were just locked in there. The three of us that's just the way it went. It was hilarious.
Nope
but it is,
card. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
And just, the nope card tends to be the sonic screwdriver. But it's, like I said, it's simple, it's fun, it can get cutthroat. That you can theoretically, like if you've got a really small child, you could take these cards, the specials, right out and just move. And you could take it very far down. I think it's a 14, 10 and up is what it's rated, and it can easily go below that. I played it with a 10-year-old in that game where it was cutthroat.
How long, time-wise, do you think it takes to play? Like, maybe is this more of a 45-minute hour game?
Oh no, it's fast.
It's fast. It's like half an hour in, you're done.
20 minutes at most. I don't think it has it on here. No, but I think it took us maybe 20 minutes to run through a game, including setup.
Okay.
Like it's not, unless you think hard, or you start dragging it out, it gets really cutthroat. That will extend it, but on average, you're looking 20 minutes. So that is Keys to the TARDIS from Outset Media. Again, you can take a look at all that review. There's the cover there. It is available pretty much anywhere games are sold. Your Amazon, your Doctor Who, your Who North America site, retailers, your friendly local gaming store. So that's this one. Let's go to commercial here, but first, let's do some trivia. So what I'm going to do is I've got Doctor Who Trivial Pursuit here.
Ooh.
And I'm going to ask a question, and from there, we'll go to commercial. And when we come back, audience, you guys can put your answers in if you think you know it, and we will see who can get this right. So, this one's a little bit tricky. This is in the category of years and dates. In what year was A Christmas Carol by the Doctor's good friend Charles Dickens published? So we will find out the answer after these commercials. After these commercials.
I'm working on that. After these commercials.
Christian's gonna kill us.
Bateman.
What's the Bateman?
A novel set in Florida, written by Florida author D.L. Havlin. Suspense, mystery, and murder.
Evidence is in the bait.
The Bateman is available at local bookstores and online.
Deborah Parmley's Jenna's Christmas Wish.
Santa, if there's one thing I want for Christmas more than anything, it's someone to spend Christmas with. Someone who really wants me to be there.
Head to the mountains of East Tennessee with romance author Jenna Hart for a Christmas writer's workshop. Since her mother passed after a long illness, Jenna has had one wish. She doesn't want to spend Christmas alone. Meeting Niccolo Maldini, cover model and actor, could make more than Jenna's Christmas wish come true. Unless Ember, Niccolo's ex-girlfriend, does something crazy to stop them from being together. It's a mountain Christmas romance you won't want to miss in Deborah Parmley's Jenna's Christmas Wish. Now on Amazon.com. Jackie Sonnenberg's My Soul to Keep is a ghost story rooted in the realities of actual cults. When 13-year-old Sky Monroe arrives at her new boarding school, all she can think about is death and connecting with the afterlife. Soon she discovers her school's spirituality group, the Guardians of Light, and they have a secret. They can speak with the dead, and the organization is a cult. But this isn't Sky's only problem. The campus house where Sky resides is haunted, and even the ghosts have an agenda. They intend on getting the souls they want. Filled with mystery and intrigue plucked straight from the headlines, Author Jackie Sonnenberg's research and attention to detail give this ghost story an even more eerie atmosphere. Find My Soul to Keep on Amazon.com today.
Hi, I'm Claudia Christian with some exciting updates in the Sinclair Method world. First of all, we launched our new coaching page. It's yoursinclairmethod.com, so you can go there and book a session with one of our fabulous coaches. You can also reach that page by visiting c3foundation.org. It's at the top of the landing page of the website. The second piece of news is Journeys is out. Woohoo! This book has been a long time in the making, and it is available in Amazon, Barnes & Noble, your local bookstore, and there's a limited amount of signed copies at c3foundation.org. So get your copy of Journeys now and visit the coaching page for some wonderful support. If you're on the Sinclair Method, you can book a session with a variety of different coaches. Take care and be well.
Are we back?
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Yes, Carl, eventually. It is cool. Bills were in fact paid. Ads were in fact run. And unlike previous times, we didn't have to do them live because that happened one time when Christian just kind of disappeared out of the feed and we couldn't do any commercials. So I did it. Mountain Christmas.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Because we were like, oh, what's the commercials? I don't know. Because nobody had board privileges at that point.
Yeah, but we've got them fixed.
Anyway.
So,
and we're back.
We had what looks like one guess in...
We had one guess.
One guess.
Purely
and
the
Carl
guess.
doesn't think he was off. I'm assuming Carl actually went through and Googled it afterwards because he says he's way off.
Yeah, after that, I'm like, oh, Carl, you couldn't wait till the commercial was done.
You're not that far off.
Yep,
it is wrong. What did you guys have to Google it?
I did.
I actually knew this one. I don't know.
Melanie, what is your answer?
He published this back in December in 1843.
Ding, 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 ding.
I only know this because I like to collect antiquarian books, or I like to act like I do, because me and my husband will go to different places and go look at books, but we can't afford them. But that's one of the books I remember we always kind of we gravitate to. So that was one I actually knew.
I need to pull out a copy of his goblins. Because he's got that Christmas story about goblins that I really need to find. I've never actually read it, but I know it exists. I know I had a copy, and I think my parents have it right now, but I need to find that again. Anyhow, so there's our answers. You can see here, we got another game to look at. So this one is Time of the Daleks. This game is a little bit older, but there is new content pretty much hitting stores as we speak. There's a reprint of the main thing. There's all of the expansions. So the main game itself comes with 4 doctors. Comes with Doctor 1, Doctor 4, Doctor 12, and Doctor 11. Because all the extra you need a little bit of the popular and a little bit of the sometimes popular, but you got to leave Tennant as an extra thing because, of course, everyone's going to do him separately.
It's going to be an expansion pack, and people are going to want, they're like, I need these 2 doctors now. Okay, where's 9? Where's 7? Here you go.
Exactly. They're coming out with a new set of expansions that actually involve some of the friends, the companions, and I don't know how that's going to change the rules. I have no idea how those are going to work. I'm excited to get my hands on them. They're, like I said, they're just starting to come out. I only have the one expansion you can see up there with the 7th and 9th Doctor. It's not a secret that I'm a big Sylvester McCoy fan. So that was, of course, going to be the one that I picked. So it is, again, it's a bit of a table hog. That's the only downside to this game. Again, this is 2.5, that's 3 feet, and this is not playable. What you're seeing here is not really playable. This is your very, very basic player space. So you've got your control room.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a doctor miniature, or whatever doctor you've chosen.
7.
There's a colored base. And you have a TARDIS on there with a similarly colored base. I don't know if that purple's coming through, but you've got, all the different colors. And these are swappable. And I'll come back to why that's important that you can swap those colors out in a bit. You've got a card with your doctor.
So the doctor can find their correct TARDIS. Okay, that has been a problem and an issue as of late.
It's true. It's true.
In the comics.
Yes.
There's actually an even more important reason, and I'll come back to that. Functionally, there's a 1. Aside from, yes, that's perfectly correct. Each doctor has a card with some dice and abilities. They always start with a specific companion. Of course, it's going to be Ace. So
makes sense.
You can see here it says linked Ace there. And she gives other additional powers. So she's got some dice. She's got some abilities. So
is the ability swinging a baseball bat?
Not specifically. There may actually be a baseball bat equipment card, though.
Probably. Yes. Yes.
I have a baseball.
Right? The doctor starts with a sonic screwdriver. Of course they do, which has its abilities. So basically what you're going to do is you grab a couple at the start of your turn. You're going to start with grabbing a couple of sonic charges. This is how you actually spend this. This is your currency on how you basically do anything. And then from there, if you wanted to, especially later in the game, you can actually dismiss companions. You can see there's only 3 spots here. So you can actually say, you know what, Ace, time for you to go. You've been great. Go start your charity. Go write your book. Start your charity.
So, a charitable earth.
Yes. Yeah. Read the book. Watch our episode talking about the book. Read the book. At Childhood's End, another thing that Christian can never remember.
This whole show is going to be just making fun of Christian.
Oh, heck yes.
At Childhood's End.
Yes.
But no, it's a very great audiobook, and her narration is amazing for all the characters. Not only she tackles the amazing accent of Sylvester McCoy, but the current companions as well. And you really can tell who's speaking by what she's doing with her inflection, except for the fact when she starts doing the 13th Doctor, because you could swear that it's Jodie talking.
Yeah, yes. It's like crazy how similar.
It's the amazing Sophie Aldred. But anyway, I
swear. Yeah, it's true. I swear she wrote that book is a better Doctor Who episode than some of the current episodes, and definitely a better 13th Doctor episode.
Yeah, especially
moving on.
That's coming back. I would love to see her come back now too.
Yes. So, anyways, so we've got that. We're just going to keep pushing forward because we only have so much time.
How many players can do this?
This, I think it's 4, but it's 4 normally because there's only 4 in the main set. If you add in a box, you can actually add in a 5th and 6th player.
Okay.
In theory, I suppose you could add more, but it gets unwieldy. You wouldn't want more than 5 to 6. As you'll see, it just gets big. So that's a thing. If you want to, you can also discard equipment during that first phase. You can play any new equipment. There's going to be effects that let you, or that require you to use that first step to do things. Then you get to travel. The Doctor, of course the Doctor travels. The Doctor can stay where they are. The Doctor can go somewhere else that's already on the board, or they can find a new location. So let's find a new location. So there's these over here, and it looks like that on the back. You put it down, and you'll see those little 2 dents there.
Okay.
There are dilemmas.
Ooh.
So we're going to flip this one over because we've already got it. This particular location, Bank of Carapraxis, and Claire's apartment. This one's in the present. This one's in the future. They've got kind of what you need to do if you win here. And what happens if you lose is going to be on these dilemmas. Some of the things you need to be able to roll on your dice. So you put that down. These all fit perfectly. You can see the ones that are hidden around the Earth. Flip that over. And let's say we just went to Claire's apartment. And that particular dilemma is, Mummy, are you my mummy? So you see you need to roll those on those particular dice. If you end up failing, you're going to end up having to dismiss 2 companions. And I'll come back to this in a second. You're going to have to move the Dalek ship forward. And I'll tell you what that means in a minute. Obviously, that's bad.
This already seems like a game that's not going to be 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
This is a much longer game. It is. It's a bit complex.
This is make dinner. We're having a game night, y'all.
Yes.
Settle in. We're going to have some fun.
Yep.
This would be the type of game that if you're right now, if you're a Fortnite player and you're waiting for something to do before 4 a.m., there you go.
Achievement acquired. Baseball bats. So,
do you find that this is takes a while to set up, like of all the
this one, especially when you're first time, because you haven't punched everything, but yeah, it takes a little bit of time. I'm going to kind of gloss over a few things just again for time. Mm-hmm. You can also recruit companions. You'll see up here, the companions come from Earth or aliens. Immediately, they kind of look like this. So if you're on Earth, oh look, there's Osgood.
Yes.
You get an alien one. Oh look, it's Osgood. Wait, what?
Oh.
That I think is the best gag. That is the best gag in the whole darn thing. And how you do, you put them in there temporarily. If they succeed and it works, you can put them in there full time.
Oh, hey Dave. Christian says, "I hate you all." LOL. There's heart. There we go.
Heart.
He loves you too.
Yeah.
Carl does make the comment that he does like that the pieces explain some of the functions and etc. Which I agree, because I think sometimes if you start playing anything of a robust tabletop game, if you don't want to stop, especially if it's your first time, and then have that one person who's been deemed to read the instructions and the fight starts because they haven't read all the instructions, so somebody else wants that sheet of paper to read the instructions again, where having those explanations within the card kind of keeps everybody on the same page as you're learning together.
Exactly. I mean, and this is not a small, like I said, it's fairly complex. I mean, it's a fairly long rule book, all things considered, but it is fairly well written. Yeah, and it's good. There's some extra stuff in there. Regeneration is kind of an interesting concept, and I definitely want to hit that. But
how do the dice?
So basically, you can see Doctor has different dice. Companions give you different dice, and you need to roll certain dice on here. I'm going to grab my dice box because this is going to get loud. And what you do is basically you end up with, I'm just going to grab a handful. I'm not going to grab necessarily the correct ones.
Are they all six-sided?
They're all six-sided dice. Okay. The different colors represent different things. I've also got a traveling die, so that was a different, I kind of skipped a little of that. And I'm just going to grab the ones that I would need to actually do this. And each of the different colors have a slightly different ability or balance to the abilities. So there's some will have more talking, some will have more fighting, some have more science-y. And you basically roll it, find the correct ones. These are not necessarily them. And you just put it on there. Great. And you're trying to basically match up those.
Dice mat, not part of Doctor Who game.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Yes, this is totally not.
I recognize that. Like,
yeah, this is totally my own thing. But yeah, if you succeed, great. If you don't, you don't.
Carl says, "Holy crap, that's not a game. That's a lifestyle." And Christian, God forbid you lose a piece. LOL.
There's enough dice that theoretically, if you lost one, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Because you're not going to use that entire dice pool that's over there. But you're right, it is a bit of a lifestyle. In fact, it's several lives worth. Obviously, there's multiple TARDISes on here. The goal is to get all the way to Gallifrey.
Okay.
And there's a Dalek ship.
Boo.
That is also, and if the Dalek ship beats you there, even if it gets there on the same turn, you lose.
Oh.
So a lot of the failure requirements are move this up or move this back.
Seems like I could spend an hour to get to this to get to the center and then find out you lost.
You lose. Yes. Yes.
This is starting to give me some Monopoly PTSD here, buddy. Just so you know, because no one finishes the game. It just ends with the board being flipped with one person with all the money.
You can end up another way. And then as things fail, you can end up with Daleks landing on these different locations. That make it harder. You have to give up dice when you have Daleks preventing you from acting there.
Mm-hmm.
The sixth Dalek, Davros.
Yeah.
So these are nice, and these are cute little plastic miniatures. Like they're really nice, really well made. You got a little bit of bend to it with those, but I haven't had any break or anything.
That's good.
I'd
be afraid to have
it
in my house because of my cats. That's the only thing.
Oh, no, right?
Yes. Interfering cat will interfere. And I mean, it doesn't take much to knock things apart. It does. These fit together perfectly, but only just. I have it specifically here, not in the middle of the table, because the middle of the table is not flat, and then they don't fit properly. But yes, I said it takes it is lifetimes. And I also mentioned that the bases on here are interchangeable. There are things that can make you regenerate. And how that would end up working is you're going to take the next highest doctor, even if it's already in play. So in the case of 7th, the next highest doctor that I have is 9. I'm showing that to my microphone.
Yes. Hi. I was like, where are you going with that?
Which is more or less where this camera was a minute ago. But you basically, once you have the thing, you can pop off your rings.
That's why the color was so important, because you can regenerate.
And this is the same. If that doctor is not in play, you grab it from out of play. When you're up to the top, so let's say I didn't have a 12 or a 9, and I would roll back to 1. This is in play. Everybody else shifts.
Oh.
You don't change your board. You don't change your companions, but you do change your doctor. And they may or may not be the same. They have different abilities, and that can kind of throw things into a little bit of a loop.
Do you find or know other people who play this game that may kind of play with their own rules, where if they like some other type of tabletop games where you're like, you know what, we're just going to play without regeneration, or we're going to play without encumbrance if you're doing D&D. You know, if it's if you're in that group.
Yeah, there's things you can host rule if you want, and I find that it's not a bad thing to start with striking some of that stuff out. And some of them are even listed in here as, hey, you could probably get away without that. Because like I said, there's a lot. Like I didn't even talk about the time anomalies. You can lock stuff. There's lots of these timey-wimey cards.
Timey-wimey.
That's how you get, more different things. So that, like I said, this is a lot of stuff.
It's not for your casual gamer. However, if you're seriously into Doctor Who, you're a huge Doctor Who fan, and you want to do more things with more of your friends, or maybe if once we get back into the world of conventions, or being able to safely go back to our comic book shops that are hosting game nights, this is a great game to bring along and to find other people who are playing this game that are. Here we go. I will help you.
Thank you.
To kind of play with. Carl had commented on the cat saying, if I ever created a game, a time cat would flip one into an alternate dimension. Where half of my stuff that's missing it's not underneath couches, it's in alternate dimensions.
Exactly. I wouldn't even say it's a heavy game. It is a complex game. It's definitely not a gateway, easy, pull it out at your family table at Christmas game.
Yeah.
You're going to be playing it with people who like to play games. But it is, once you get it rolling, it actually flows fairly quickly and fairly easily, and it's a lot of fun.
So this is the type of game where maybe the first one would be your casual Doctor Who fan, or somebody that just wants to play games, 20-minute, this kind of thing. That's a great stocking stuffer kind of fun extra gift game. This is for somebody that is into tabletop games and is looking for something a little different, and that's where that gift would slide perfectly into.
Yeah, exactly. When I was playing it, I had people saying, "Hey, how about we should paint these? These ones are just plastic." They did have a convention special with some actual nice resin versions, so those do exist. They are not easy to find unless it's convention season, which it's kind of not anymore at all.
Not really. Not really.
But you can paint these as well if you're a miniature painter. There's a K9 in there that gives you some extra rules. But yeah, so it's like I said, it's an upper level, but it's not like super hard. Oh my god, I can't play. The 4X style game where it's just boom. But you can see as I was adding that location, it's not part of the main board, right? So when I pop that back up, right? So if I had another location, another location, and another location, and another location, right? You can see how that's not enough space to play.
Yeah. No, that I completely understand.
Yeah, so that was kind of where I went with that.
How much do these both run, and where could people find them?
All of them are very easily found. Like I said, your friendly local gaming store, Amazon, Who North America has a lot of them. I don't know the prices. Again, Canadian, so prices tend to shift a bit. I know Keys to the TARDIS is about $30 Canadian, if I remember correctly. I did actually look it up.
Divide by 1.45. That's usually your conversion rate. So if it's a US dollar, you'd multiply it by 1.45. Otherwise, you would divide. Or that's your percentage.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that the price is going to be the same between countries. Conversion-wise, yes. But
no, you're right, because your MSRP is going to be labeled differently on that.
Exactly. I think it's time for commercials.
It is very much a time for a commercial. So when we're back, we may get another game. Is there going to be another trivia card that you've got?
There's going to be another trivia card.
Okay.
Yep. So let's find that. Which one was I doing here? I have to remember what question I had on this one, because I did have a specific.
Pick one.
I picked these up. No, I had a thing. I'm going to do this one because it was easier. All right. With also years and dates.
Oh God.
With whom did the 11th Doctor visit California in Christmas of 1952 alongside Abigail Pettigrew?
Just why don't you just give Mackenzie the answer? No, I'm just going to give that question directly to this woman, because she's like, oh, I know that. Like,
so if you know who the 11th Doctor went with in 1952, put it into the. Carl's already got an answer. We'll take a look at the answer when we come back.
Alien invaders enslave Earth,
Unleashing hunters into the ruined wastes.
One young survivor struggles to elude their monsters, clinging to hope.
When he's stolen off the planet by a sarcastic starship AI, they pit their uneasy alliance against a treacherous galaxy.
Explore a whole new verse of barbarism and betrayal.
Wonder and adventure.
In the Scion series
by Michael J. Allen.
Beginning with Book 1, Scion Conquered Earth.
Available in print, ebook, and audio on Amazon.com.
Experience Samara's adventure as she imagines the people around her change into friendly cartoon animals right before her eyes. Journey with her in this poetic tale, My Cartoon Imagination at School.
Now on Amazon.com, iCoin from author Jeremy Mosby. It's an alternate reality, and the leader of the planet iCoin is none other than Benjamin Franklin. When corrupt officials threaten not only iCoin but the Earth as well, an unlikely chosen one, Jeremy, must face dark foes to save the Earth and iCoin alike. Author Jeremy Mosby takes readers on a superhero's adventure through this compelling and imaginative alternate universe. Get iCoin on Amazon.com today.
Best-selling and award-winning author of true crime and crime fiction, Yvonne Mason is back with a brand new book, The Pink Canary, a book that delves into the life of a drag queen and a marvelous whodunit. You can find this and all of Yvonne's other works on Amazon.com, or find Yvonne Mason on Facebook and Twitter.
He's gonna kill me.
Buy your copy of Pink Canary now.
You have more options than ever before when choosing a film, a television or internet series, a book to curl up with, or even a radio show or podcast. Get to know the people who are creating for you. The Hangin' With Web Show, hosted by award-winning author and journalist G.W. Pomacher, is the internet's fastest-growing web talk show series. The Hangin' With Web Show features professional, yet casual, in-depth interviews with creative arts and entertainment pros. Meet the people behind a digital revolution in creating more quality content than ever before in the history of media. Find the Hangin' With Web Show on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or simply go to www.hanginwithshow.com. That's www.hanginwithshow.com.
Hey,
and we're back.
And we're back. And one quick thing I wanted to say is to to bookend with our commercials is that if you wish to advertise with us, you can. For all that information, you can email either Christian or Sage, both of them. If you can see the link below. Otherwise, if you're on our podcast, grab your pen and paper because I'm going to say it as slowly as possible. The emails are Sage, that's SAGE, @ hangin, HANGIN, with show.com, or Christian at hangin, there's no G after that, so just HANGIN with show.com. Also, one last thing that I know Christian had said in the comments, which I need to quickly follow, is that you can now, with many of the other Hanging With shows that the Hanging With web TV brand of all of us little family in there, you can now buy merch. So if you really desperately want one of our shirts, if you would like a Legend of the Traveling Tardis shirt, cup, mug, anything that possibly that we have to offer, you can look here. There, it's now a threadless shop. So it would be hwwswebtv.threadless.com. I'm not going to read the entire link because just search for the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Otherwise, look down below, look in the comment section, and you can see the long link that Christian has so nicely added for us. That's my spiel, and I'm sticking to it.
Excellent. Bravo.
Yeah.
So, did we have any guesses on who that was?
I believe that we had a few.
You have a guess in there.
Where is it? I don't see it.
Carl.
I think it's directed at a person. I don't think that was a guess. I don't think he meant
I'm not sure if that was a guess or if that was directed to somebody by his name Donna. But so otherwise, then no, there wasn't any guesses in there.
Just for the record, the reason I keep bringing up Who North America is because they are a brick and mortar store that specializes in Doctor Who. They've come on the show before. They've got all these games. They've got great books. They've got this book called Binge Watcher's Guide to the 13th Doctor or something.
Somebody.
I'm not sure who that. I've heard that. I don't know. I was going to pick it up when I actually was in Indiana. And oh, look, there it is. For some reason, Mackenzie has a copy of it.
I don't know.
I don't know why.
How's that correlate?
Yeah. And there's going to be another edition of it coming up soon. I can say that because I know the author.
Close personal friend.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it happens that book as well as my books, Right On series. Those are also available at Who North America. I do signings there occasionally too. Once this COVID stuff gets done, you'll see me there again.
Yep.
Excellent. She's probably going to try and book something right after Gen Con next time there's a Gen Con so that I can be there too.
Right. Because I was signed up for Gen Con this year. I was.
Yeah. I'm so that's where I get most of these games is actually when I go to Gen Con. I drive 3 days from Alberta to Indianapolis, Indiana.
How many miles is that?
Because I can.
Or kilometers, or whatever you Canadians do for travel.
A bazillion. I don't remember. This year's trip was going to have extra stuff in it.
Time. How much time is it for the drive?
About 36 road hours.
Dedicated.
Give or take where in the province I start.
Nope.
This year
that's a flying.
Well, for me,
I had a whole tour planned this year.
It was the equivalent of me going from, and it was just because the traffic was just horrendous. It was I had to go overnight. So I was up for almost 72 hours, but the drive wasn't that long. It was from going from Michigan to New York to see Matt and David. It was almost like that. I was up for 72 hours because traffic.
Yeah, I pull over to the side of the road where it's safe, pull over into a gas station and go to sleep. I just sleep in the car. My trip was supposed to be 12,000 kilometers this summer. I had 3 weeks of events all out east there, including Gen Con, including the Quidditch World Cup, including an audio drama conference up in Halifax where I was going to meet up with some Doctor Who audio drama producers. But I haven't given the answer yet. So I gave lots of time. We know that Carl, that was his wife, said that's his wife. Great. So the answer is, drum roll. Oh, do you guys know?
Yeah, Kazran.
Kazran Sardik.
Yeah.
I literally couldn't even throw a guess out there. I mean, I'm saying Miami, Florida. I don't have what.
Fair enough.
It's one of those things. If it's an 11 Doctor thing, I probably know it. That's just the way it is.
You got into the hive mind, and it's there.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm going to be fairly quick on this one because I can be. Oops, I hit the wrong button. This is the one I wanted right there. Yep. And then we want to do that right there. Nope. You do it, Mel.
I'm trying to do it and help you.
We're both trying to. So this, since we're running out of time, conveniently, this is a fairly short game. It's one of the reasons I left it for last. It's also one of my favorites. This is not a new game, although there are always new versions of it. Doctor Who Fluxx from Looney Labs. I love this game. I love Fluxx in general. Some people don't. There is a bazillion different versions. So you can see there's a holiday Fluxx that I've got stacked up here. I've got 3 different Star Trek Fluxxes, and they just came out with a Star Trek Voyager version of Fluxx. There's Half-Baked Ideas, which also puts out some more adult-themed ones like Drinking Fluxx, Stoner Fluxx. But they've got SpongeBob Fluxx just came out. They've got Firefly Fluxx. They've got all these Fluxxes. The cards are going to be similar but different themed. The basic rules are very simple, and that's how I'm going to go through them real quick here with you. So it starts out with 2 rules. You draw a card, you play a card. That's the only rules. How do you win? We don't know yet. There is no win condition at this point. So I don't have a proper hand. I just grabbed a whack of cards here to show things off because it's just easier. So things you can play. On your turn, I will have drawn a card, and I have to play 1 card. I'm going to play a new rule. That rule is I draw 3 cards now. So now, anytime anybody draws cards, they draw 3 cards. They still only get to play 1. There is no hand limit at this point. Comes around. Next turn. New rule. Play all. So now, I draw 3 cards. I play all of my cards. My entire hand must be played every turn. You have nothing left in your hand. Next time around, now it's a hand limit of 2. So I'm going to end up drawing 3 cards. I have to discard a card down to 2 immediately, and then I have to play both of them. Well, let's say one of the ones I played is an action card. It does stuff. In this case, trash a new rule. No longer is there a hand size limit. Now we're going to get into how you kind of win and lose. So there are cards called creepers.
Of course, the master's a creeper.
Of course.
Exactly. These are bad. You cannot normally win the game with a creeper in play. So you're going to put that in front of you automatically. As soon as I draw it, and then I would draw to replace that card.
Okay.
So there are also keepers.
Oh, okay.
In this case, the TARDIS.
Yeah, you want to keep that.
Or I've got, the different doctors. So you'll see me showing these cards off occasionally, like when we had Sylvester McCoy and Paul McGann. I showed off those cards then. Yeah. So you'd have those in front of you. Sometimes there's limits to how many keepers you can have. Often there's not. But you don't have a goal, right? There's still no win condition. Now there is. So in this case, Grand Theft TARDIS. When this card is in play, you need the first Doctor and the TARDIS, and you win.
Oh, well then.
TARDIS.
Yay.
I got this creeper here. I can't win the game.
Ah, boo.
Oh.
Right? But
okay, so how does one get rid of the creeper?
Well, there's cards that can do that. In this case, you can actually, during your turn, you can actually move him to any player that has the Doctor. Any of the Doctors count as the Doctor. Or if it's someone else's turn, someone else went and played a card, you still have to play all, right? Next player's turn, even if that means someone else wins. The Master's TARDIS. Next player has to play that if it's in their hand, because that's the rule, play all. Master, TARDIS, win.
Oh, okay.
So you can end up losing, or
now those cards
you had no choice.
So you showed the creeper card. Now keepers, you have to show them too. So your hand's always in front on the table, so everyone else can see
your hand is not. You can keep stuff in your hand to play.
Okay.
But to win, it has to be on the table. Creepers, you automatically play. It's a penalty. It's automatic. Anything else you can have in your hand, and you play it according to the rules.
Okay.
Maybe that's play all. Maybe you can only play. Maybe it's draw 5, play 1. Right. And they have the different Doctors. They did come out with a 13th Doctor expansion.
Nice.
Just a little booster pack.
Very nice.
So got her in there. They had a War Doctor promo card.
Even better. Awesome.
Oh.
Right. So this is a little bit harder to find, but it's there. And there's always going to be another Doctor. We know that, right? You got Joe Martin maybe as 14. Who knows? The future Doctor.
It's always...
There are cards that reference the highest number Doctor in play. This always is the highest Doctor in play because it doesn't exist yet. That's Fluxx in a heartbeat.
Very cool.
The same rules happen for holiday Fluxx. Your keepers are now Santa Claus. For the same thing, the rules start as basic 1/1. You're still doing all of the same things.
Okay.
So it's a fast, easy game. Some people don't like the chaos of it. I love the chaos of it.
Yeah.
That's what makes it the most fun for me. But let's do one more quick question because we have to bang out those last commercials.
Just throw a commercial in here, yep.
Exactly. And Simon Callow has appeared in Doctor Who twice, alongside both the 9th and 11th Doctors. Who did he play on both occasions? We'll find out after these messages.
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment, tech, and more.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the way in pop culture fun. From comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pops and collector's items, Famous Faces and Funnies has it all. Rick Shea and the professional team at Famous Faces and Funnies are friendly and knowledgeable. Whether you're looking for toys, props, collector treasures, or a new comic book, Famous Faces and Funnies is your one-stop shop. To find Famous Faces and Funnies on Facebook and Twitter, just type at FFF Comics.
If anything you must understand, it is this. If I do not find a cure, my life is forfeit.
Myrta McKinnon, rise. It is your time to participate in the Rite of Wands, in which your soul shall face the ultimate analysis. Do you accede?
Yes. This can't be the way things end.
Heed my advice, young warlock. The future you saw is only a possibility. You will be given the ability to change it.
How?
I suggest you start by studying your father's potion books.
Lachlan the Shreya has come to Iverna. I must focus solely on my work. I am afraid. I do not want to fail.
And the Rite of Wands can be found at Doctor Who North America, as well as Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all your favorite places.
Woo! I love that commercial.
I wasn't expecting that at all. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Surprise!
Well,
Surprise!
There we go. Ha! And we're back.
And we're back for a very truncated last segment because we wanted to give the second game the time of the I have the banner right
Time
here.
of the Daleks.
Yeah. Thank you. Time of the Daleks. Because that's such a lengthy game, it was going to have to push some of the commercials out. Otherwise, we'd put a break in the middle and it would just throw everything. So
I've got a very special guest with the answer. Mackenzie, do you know what it is?
I actually only know about the 9th one. I wasn't quite sure on.
All right. Well, here's my special guest, me. just because I wanted to put it up. It's amusing. So the answer is, drum roll please, Charles Dickens.
Wait, what?
Charles Dickens.
Yeah, Charles Dickens.
Simon Callow was Charles Dickens.
That's right.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Almost like all of these questions had to do with the Christmas Carol episode, because that's one of the few Christmas episodes that I could find in the Trivial Pursuit game.
Oh no! Okay.
It is Christmas time after all.
It is December.
Yep.
You know. Yeah.
It is
and
that,
of course,
that
it goes
time of year.
into the 25 days of Humus. I think that's what I'm saying, right? Humus.
Here we go. According to Christian, the TLTT 25 Days of Humus has started. Music clips, movies clips. Movie clips. What happened? Why is there an extra S? Damn it, Christian. And pictures. There's where the S needed to go. Of new and classic. What? And picture of new classic pictures of Little Boy Blue. Hold on. This is why you read things before you just start throwing stuff up there and start reading it. So there's gonna be new pictures. There's gonna be lots of new pictures if you go onto the Facebook site that you start. If you notice, Christian is starting to post a lot of new Christmas pictures of the Little Boy Blue, our little legend of our little traveling TARDIS art that he has. I no longer have it, as we just start picking up other TARDIS things that we have in our thing. So yes, make sure you follow us on or it's just on Facebook. It's facebook.com/TheTravelingTardis. Ta-da! And you can go ahead and watch the 25 Days of Humus and watch all the cool stuff that we a little extra content we're going to be putting out there.
Excellent. And where can we find you really fast, Mel?
Where?
Anything you want to pump? Do you want to pump? It's the end of the show. We got to give you.
Oh, it's the end of the show. Okay, sorry. I don't know. You can always check out my Etsy page. That's always really cool. I'm starting to put up a lot more of my paintings and stuff. Look, if you notice, Good Omens is no longer back there because Good Omens was sold. Yes, thank you, Jesus. But the prints are going to be on the Etsy shop. Tea infusers are on the Etsy shop. Give me money, people. I desperately need it. I'll just say it. So it'd be piecesofmelee.etsy.com.
Excellent. Mackenzie, anything else besides what we already heard from the end of the commercial?
Pretty much, we got the Right of Wands, we got Half a Nation. I could say, though, that Jodie needs love. Please get the Binge Watcher Guide to Doctor Who, especially if you're new and want to find all about her doctor. It's got some stuff more than just her. It has a history of the show.
Great Christmas gifts. Her books make great Christmas gifts.
It's true. As for me, you can find all of my Doctor Who reviews, TheRatHole.ca/Who. I do have a set of Christmas reviews right now. That is because it is the season. You can see I got all those Christmas games in the background there. That RatHole.ca/Christmas. I'm also running a giveaway, and I'm going to talk about that during the after show here in a second. But it Linktree linktr.ee/TheRatHole.ca. It should have a .ca at the end of that. That is my fault. And that'll have buttons to get to all of the possible entries for that giveaway. It also gives all of my social medias, website, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And there it's fixed. All right. That is time. Thank you guys for joining in. Please stick around for the after party. If you guys have any more questions about the games or any other Doctor Who games, I got the role-playing game. I got some other ones. We can do that all in this. I got a couple of... Be kind to each other, be safe, and be part of the legend.
Yes.
We're done. And we are out.
We are done. We are back, and we've got the after broadcast party. Woo! Party.
Yay! I don't have to click on commercials.
Yay!
Yay!
So,
sorry.
That's okay.
A little bit behind the scenes there. Hey, Christian usually does that because he decided he didn't want to be on the show, but yet he's lurking in the chats. Christian, talking to you. You could just turn on your camera, buddy.
You do know where the link is. You sent it to us. But I am running a giveaway. I've got it with GUI Cube. They've teamed up with me to give away a holiday digital prize pack. It's going to have their Darkest Dream box set. It is a 5th edition compatible entire adventure full of all sorts of stuff, as well as a Strangely Gooey Holiday, which is a brand new, again, 5th edition compatible adventure. I'm going to be doing an interview with Alistair Goo, who is that fine gentleman in the hat at the bottom there.
Awesome.
Next Monday, December 7th. That is going to be at 6 p.m. Mountain, which is 4 p.m. for all y'all in Florida.
Yes.
No. Yes. I'm like, wait, which way am I?
Okay. What time did you start this show? 4 o'clock?
No. Yeah, it was 6 o'clock for you. So no, it's 8 o'clock for you, 6 o'clock for me for that interview next Monday.
And just so you know, Dave, I'm actually her time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you? I thought you were an hour different. I think you were in between.
No, I'm still on. I'm
still Eastern.
I blame her.
Said that and I went, wait, what? You're. Yeah, I keep forgetting because somebody else is just next to you and they're an hour off.
Yeah. It gets timey-wimey once you get into Indiana, depending on what part of Indiana you're in.
Yeah. It's weird.
Comments coming. What is this? Next, it's Christian. Christian, why weren't you just on this show, buddy? Next week we're going to be having Patty Hawkins from GalaxyCon, moderator and other amazing stuff extraordinaire, but moderator extraordinaire. It's going to be a Matt Smith tribute show. That's all I know.
Yay, Matt Smith. That's all we know. Yeah.
Christian says you guys were awesome. Woohoo!
Yay! He says that when the show is over.
I know.
Yeah.
I would just like to point that out.
Put that on the podcast.
This part won't be on the podcast. No, all those listeners are going to go, oh, they were terrible, and Kristen probably hated them.
Carl says that Donald liked her David Tennant print, and that was he thankful. Thank you, Carl. He purchased a print for me on my Etsy shop, and yes, my David Tennant print is gorgeous. Thank you. It was one of the pictures usually is hanging behind me, and he's in the hallway now. Sorry, the original's in the hallway. No, he's not. He's right here. Oh my God, hold on. He's just faced around. Okay.
Shocking.
There he is. There he is.
Yeah.
Okay. There he is. He's back here. Okay, that's that.
But yeah, no. So that's just a quick look at some of these games. Oh, yes. Thank you, everybody. What else? Oh, we got more. Yeah.
He's taking care of family. He's taking care of his fur babies.
If only I could just say, but no, yeah, it's totally valid, and we're happy to be here. Thank you, Christian, for giving us the chance to still do a show. And
yeah, right.
I'm glad we could give you the day off because you deserve it. You do a ton of work, and we are all very, very grateful, and I know our audience is as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're at episode 100 and...
Yes. 100 and
squeak.
That's the official
100 and squeak. I think that is the official number, sir, of the Legend of the Traveling Tardis podcast. So you are allowed to have a day off and just kind of relax, especially if you're taking care of your little furry babies, because completely intrinsically understand that.
Yeah.
When we all do.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Especially me after sadly lost two last.
Yeah, it's not been easy.
Sucked.
It always is. It's always that's the only bad thing about having pets is that their lifespans do not match ours. So the good way to look at it is that you can spend you can give all your love to them for their entire lives. So from beginning all the way to the end and beyond. So that's the trade, unfortunately, when we have our little furry ones. But yeah, I have 5 of my own, and Lord knows there's 2 at PetSmart that we keep walking by, and my husband keeps looking and like, I think that one's adorable. I'm like, no, we don't need 2 more. We're probably gonna get 2 more.
No more. No.
No mas.
You'll feel like me. We still have well, I'm now down to 9, I believe now.
Yeah, which is still a lot, but it doesn't make up for anything.
No, especially when in my case, almost all people always ask me, they're like, well, how the heck do you have so many cats? They're like, you must be a crazy lady. I'm like, no, it just happened that I used to do rescue work, and it just happened that I got involved with a place that there was a hoarder that had over 30 kittens and mama cats, and all these guys are still left over from that colony. So
yep, spaying and neutering is extremely important, especially in the cat world.
Yeah. And she's a little bit crazy.
Poquito.
I'm a writer.
We all are.
It's true.
Part of the you have to be crazy in order to be able to create a big, world.
Absolutely.
Christian, I expect Christian to take, since he's clearly got some form of device, probably his phone. I want a selfie of you with us on the big screen behind you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He's saying that he's watching us on the large screen is in the living room. It's very, very surreal. So yeah.
Sure, it didn't happen.
We can put the picture up next week because we won't be able to put it in the comments.
He also has an announcement. Phantasmagoria will return for a Christmas special end of the month. So if you were with us when they graced us during our Halloween month-long Halloween celebration, where they did a special performance, kind of expanding the universe a little bit of the Doctor Who episode of the Villa of the Diodati. Oh Lord, I can't. Yeah. Blah. The words are not working from the brain to the mouth. They will be back and they will have a little Christmas thing for us. So please make sure you tune in December because, here we are.
We're here. We're still doing stuff.
2020. We're now in December. Remember
it's Christmas.
When it was March.
I have one more Christmas question.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
If do we want it?
Yes, because Christian's going to answer. He needs to do something.
Christian needs to do something. It's true. And this is in the category of episodes and stories.
Okay.
In A Christmas Carol, shocking that would be the episode we're talking about. In the episode of Christmas Carol, what traditional festive song draws these small fish from the clouds as its music resonated with fog crystals?
Oh.
I'm not sure what that was.
Sorry. I thought my phone was on. That was basically Etsy messaging me saying that I made a sale.
Yay!
So thank you. Yay! That was the
That's a pleasant surprise.
Whichever one of you audience members just bought something, thank you.
Thank you. Oh no, it wasn't. Damn it. Hold on. No, it wasn't. No, wait. I think it was a new message. That's what it was. It was a new message on Etsy. It wasn't. Because usually
yet.
Not yet. Well, that's Etsy. If you have the ringer on there, if you have an Etsy account, its notification, it's set. I think you could change it, but its default is a cha-ching sound.
So Christian, have you figured out which one what it is?
And if he doesn't know, I can answer it.
You can? What is it?
Yeah.
What is it, Mackenzie?
I'll even do it better yet because I just happen to have a song.
I think it's time for Christmas Day.
It's such a great song. It's Silence All You Know.
Which may have a different. This one says it is Ding Dong Merrily on High. So I'm wondering if it. I'm now gonna have to go back and look and see which one it is because both of you gave that answer, but this has a different one, which is interesting. I'm wondering if maybe they're both in there. I mean, it's a Christmas episode. There might be a ton of stuff.
The answer is the Moops. Okay.
And it's Trivial Pursuit. Like that, they're pretty good about making sure they have the right thing, but every now and then there's also the two answers problem. Mel, I threw a YouTube link into our private chat.
Okay.
That I want to throw up at the very, very, very end because it's completely off topic. But I can't screen share with this setup. I've got a slightly different setup.
Yeah. Okay. I can do it.
So that I can be a part of the behind the scenes. I've got this logged in under a different account, not mine, and I don't want to get logged out of my account, so it's in a different browser. So this browser doesn't like stuff. Yeah. But did you guys have any more questions about games? Since we're here. And Melanie has a PM.
I kind of check.
Mackenzie, do you have a?
Melanie, check your PM.
I think I know what that's going to be. Mackenzie, did you have any other questions?
What?
Well, how about this? When you go to Gen Con, I hope that you bring one of those with you so that we can play it. How about that?
That is easy enough to do. I'll definitely Looney Labs, hopefully I'll have a version at least of Fluxx, because there's always new ones, and I really do love that game. It's a fun one. I'm hoping that eventually I will be able to do a review on the Star Trek Voyager one. I do have the other 3 here.
I would love to see that one.
It is.
Oh, cool. Woo!
This is the one that came out the last one.
Ooh.
There's actually another booster pack, and I didn't grab the case, but it's these that connects these two, so you can actually play them together.
Oh, how awesome!
Fluxx is not really balanced to mixed decks unless they add something in to do that. Like, you could throw Santa Claus into Doctor Who Fluxx, you'll never win with that card.
Yeah, because
there's no goals for it. Right,
That
it's
makes
all
sense.
set very specifically. But I almost always will end up with a Fluxx, again, Looney willing.
I just checked my during the show to see how long it would be for me to drive to Gen Con, and it would be 15 hours. So nope.
That's not bad. That's not so bad.
Nope, my way out of that.
I do that.
Okay.
I do that regularly.
It's
about 12 hours to get to Vancouver or Seattle. The West Coast is about 12 hours, 12 to 15 hours for me, depending on where I'm starting in the province.
Yeah,
and I'll do that. For conventions, I'll do that for Quidditch tournaments. For those who don't know, I play Quidditch, like actual real life human Quidditch.
Yes.
This is actually a Quidditch jersey. This is the Munich Wilpertingers. So you can see a Wilpertinger is basically a jackalope with wings.
That's so cool.
And you can look at my butt. So this is when I go to why is that a thing in a Doctor Who game or in general? Because there's a little bit of both.
While you're
a really good question.
While you're pontificating, boop.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta get rid of the banner on the bottom so you don't see Christian's. There he is.
Yeah, but
bottom right.
It just happened to be missing though
in the photos. I know, it's like you cut out Mackenzie. Come on, man.
Basically, what we're saying here is that Christian's selfies are as good as his segues.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh.
911.
Pretend it's a microphone.
Yeah, call 911 report a murder.
You're gonna let me put some water on that burn. We love you, Christian. Yeah, no, one of the things I was going to drive on this East Coast tour was going to be the Quidditch World Cup, which was supposed to be in Richmond, Virginia this year. And they postponed it to next summer. And because it's still where we are in the universe, they basically said, we will announce in January. I don't know why they would possibly pick January to reschedule it for 2022 or 2023. So eventually I'll get to go there.
Yeah.
But it makes sense with the state of the states, quite bluntly.
Do you
and
really
just the world in general.
Do you really want into this country?
Right.
January.
Oh, that's true. You're very cold. That's right. You're heading south.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting you're heading south. It's
for me, yes.
For you,
but,
yes, please.
But like I said, they're basically one of the reasons I am very certain that they said we're going to wait till January is to see how the election went, because it will change how immigration and visas that are needed. That's just that's a fact. That's not a criticism of any particular government. That's just the reality of that.
Yeah.
Do you know anyone who makes a regular deck of cards with Who characters?
Ooh.
That's a good question. I've seen Star Wars ones. I have not seen a regular deck of cards with Who.
Carl had a comment earlier that actually kind of dovetails into that. Jody. But yes, that's the original question at hand.
I would be willing to bet that there is one out there. I'd also be willing to bet that if you check the Who North America site, that's probably the best place to find it. Honestly, not even trying to promo them. That's probably just the fastest way to find it if it exists. I'm getting all these questions that I just don't have an answer to. I like that though. That's great questions. Christians is especially a question I've never gotten before in the years of reviewing. I have never been asked that question.
Playing a game where you're just like, why? Just why? Why is this rule?
A thing?
Because it almost kind of marries to the question of if it's a rule that you're thinking why. If you're going as far as why, you're going to go as far as, you know what, we are now making a house rule. We're not playing with that.
Often, yeah, and that is something that it's less why is this a thing and more just often not being sure how I've read it, because often if I'm playing it for the first time, right, or someone else might be teaching it, we may have just literally cracked the plastic and gone through and just missed a rule. Marvel Villainous. There's been a few times in Marvel Villainous, which is a fun game in and of itself, and we just lost Mackenzie. Maybe she'll be back. That's okay. It's a good game on its own. Apparently, I have not played Villainous. I'm very strange in that I have not played the regular Disney Villainous.
Sorry, hit the wrong button.
It's okay.
Yeah, she's back.
And she's gone. And she's back.
I was trying to hit the chat button. I hit the login button. I'm like, no. Because I had the answer to that playing card question.
Let's see.
That's a fairly easy. Kristen's question: if what is the most challenging of all the Doctor Who games? That one's probably actually one of the easier questions. I'm going to straight up say that the Time of the Daleks. Not that it again challenging because there's just so much going on. There is Warlord Games has a miniatures, like a miniature war game, Warhammer type game that is Doctor Who. I've never played that, so I don't know how complex it is. I haven't been able to get my hot little hands on that yet. Hopefully, eventually. But yeah, that's I'd say as far as specifically Doctor Who games, and specifically tabletop Doctor Who games, I'm going to say that. The role-playing game is a role-playing game, so some people will find it it's as challenging as the person running it makes it. But as far as just straight challenge in and of itself, I'm going to have to say the Time of the Daleks for sure. That's the nice thing. Who is often a fairly light topic, right? Oh, there we go. There we go.
Making sure you can see this. Mackenzie gave us the link below to answer Carl's question about playing cards. So WHOPC.co.uk. Perhaps maybe see if on Amazon if the same people might have something over here in the US stateside, but here is Doctor Who Adventures. So here's a bunch of playing cards. Looks like that these ones look to be licensed. So maybe going all the way up to 11.
11. Because that's the
early 11 because it's saying
that's the logo too.
Yeah,
is that?
Yeah, because it's Amy, Rory, and 11. So there's some playing cards out there. Lord knows if you go out there to, let me see if I can't stop my screen there. Lord knows if you go out on a place like Etsy or whatnot, that there are probably makers who probably make their own, who've crafted other ones. So you can always kind of look there too. But thank you, Mackenzie, for finding that link.
Oh, you're welcome. And hopefully next time when I hit the chat button, I won't hit the wrong button again.
Oh, what happened? No, what happened was the time cat had flipped her off. You just flipped her off the web, just completely went.
There you go.
Yeah.
You didn't go to an alternate universe. You just left.
And I'm
the
very
web.
11, so I had to I just knocked my microphone off the table.
So Christian is just here just to ask a billion questions. Did you already answer what's the most challenging Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Okay, because that was what I was looking for.
And Time of the Daleks. The other thing is that the new stuff that's coming out, like as we speak, hitting stores, is going to have new rules. So on top of all of that, there's going to be more. So again, it's challenging mostly because there's just so much.
Mm-hmm. So
next question.
Christian asks, what Doctor Who game would you take to a party where people could learn it fast?
That will vary depending on the type of party that it is, like how many people I need to deal with. Fluxx is probably going to be one of those because it can handle a larger number of people.
Mm-hmm.
What is the base player count on that? Base player count on it is 2 to 6. So I mean, 6 people in a card game is not a bad amount. Keys to the TARDIS, if there was my friends often will do a solstice party, and all of our friends and all of their kids who are now teenagers, oh God, I would probably, I'd throw Keys to the TARDIS at them in a heartbeat because that's really simple. There is also a Doctor Who card game back here, which is not terribly hard, but it is only 4 players. There's a couple of different versions of it. There's a classic Doctor's Edition and a regular one. There's also a 12th Doctor.
I'll make you larger. Hold on.
Versions of this.
Here.
There we go.
That way you can see the games a little easier.
So there's the classic Doctor, and then regular one. There's a 2nd edition of this, and a 1st edition, and a 12th Doctor expansion. The 2nd edition has 12th Doctor in it. I honestly do not know if it is the exact same cards or not between the 12th Doctor expansion and that 2nd edition.
Okay.
This is not a terrible. It's an interesting game. It's a fun game. I have a video on it. Again, you can check that page, the RatHole.ca/who. There is an actual video post about the card game, as well as the reviews of it. If you're more of a storyteller, there's also Rory's Story Cubes, which is really, really popular. There was for a while a Doctor Who set of those. You can see, I'm not going to reach all the way back there, but they are back there, right there. You roll a dice, tell a story. So I mean, that's an easy one for different people. I haven't reviewed. That's my copy. I've not reviewed it. I have it as much for this as anything. But it's it's one of those games that there's a 12.5 themes, but that one is largely out of print now. In North America, it's Asmodee that does that. The Rory stuff, they sold it off. In the UK, it's still Rory's that actually publishes it. But yeah, so I think those would be the main, again, specifically Who games.
Fun just comments. Carly's Carl, we're downsizing. Get rid of stuff. Also, Carl, we need the Doctor Who card game. The game cards, whatever.
Yes.
To wit,
yes.
Carl's response was, "You are correct."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
And-
yes. Just
Yes, and then we got also Doctor Who Worlds Apart going to be coming out in 2021. So we have that. It is looking at this time to be digital only, though it was said it to be coming out for other things other than PC, but it looks like that has maybe changed. So
or at least delayed.
Or delayed, yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Trying to find it real quick.
Yeah, there are other games. This is just games that I personally have, most of which I've reviewed, that are reasonably current. I mean, it's not like Doctor Who's a new thing. There's Doctor Who Risk. There's Doctor Who Monopoly. There's several versions of Doctor Who. There's at least 3 versions of the Monopoly that I know of. There was a straight Doctor Who board game that's a little bit older. There was another role-playing game before this. There's a bazillion and a half fan-made games and or reskins of games that are Doctor Who. Heck, I was doing one for Kill Dr. Lucky. I wanted Dr. Lucky's Adventures in Time and Space, and it just didn't. The cheap-ass games was sold. Maybe someday I'll pitch it to Greater Than Games, who now own Kill Dr. Lucky, but I'm not a designer. I'm a reviewer. But I had a great concept. It was going to be fun. Promise. Oh, yes. We're at over 42,000 people. Thank you, Facebook.
Yeah. Over 42,000 followers, I believe, that are following us on the Facebooks. So, ta-da! Yeah, I'm running out of things to say.
Yeah. So did you pull up that YouTube video? Since we're kind of running out of things.
I know, because I'm just looking at it going, I'm slowly getting hungry.
Pull it up. Basically, it's a hard time of year right now, right? So this is the serious part. We're coming into the holidays. It's been a super, super hard year. The holidays is a hard time of year for a lot of people, full stop. But this year especially, there's people who in the past have had a surplus of money, of things they can give, of the ability to give back to their community that they maybe can't this year. They may actually be in a position where they need to be helped instead of being able to help. Right now, because it's December 1st, it's the launch of a lot of those Christmas charities, different fundraisers. One of the ones that's in Edmonton, a few hours north of me, is the radio station 630 CHED since 1955, has been doing a Santa's Anonymous, which is what the video is, because it's just a short little commercial and is a little bit less politically correct right now, because it does have a bit of a you'll see why. It's not bad. It's just, but it's not really Christmas till I get a chance to see this particular commercial. I'll show it at the very, very end, assuming Mel is able to pull it up and show it.
I'm trying to. It's A Creature is Stirring.
That's the one. Yep.
Okay.
That's the one. It's not a new commercial. Like I said, it's a little bit old. Oh God, Carly's now wanting the monopolies. Okay. But yeah, no, depending on where you are, depends on what charities there are. There's always some sort of a food bank. There are things like Santa's Anonymous in Edmonton give gifts to kids in need. Like, they can sign up again anonymously because kids need Christmas. If that is what you celebrate in your home, it's important. And there are people, I know people myself that are really stressing right now because they're worried about their kids. They're not worried about them. So just keep that in mind. If you're at the store, pick up an extra something. A lot of those Christmas charities will take cash donations. I've got a review on Thursday, which is the Christmas Express game back in the corner there, which is also by Outset Media. But it's a train game. The CP Rail, Canadian Pacific Rail, has what is normally their holiday train, and it goes big train full of lights, trucks across the country, stops in different communities, and raises funds in all those communities. They can't do that this year. They've had to move virtually as well, so they're doing an online concert. So check out the review on Thursday. I've got links to that. And again, if you can't find that link, it'll be also on the with all the rest of my Christmas reviews. But seriously, it's a hard time in all sorts. Be kind to each other. If you have the ability to help, of all years, please take a moment to do that. This is a tearjerker of a commercial. This is straight up a commercial. It was written. The actual story is read by the guy who wrote it. He was the station manager of what is now that particular radio station, 630 Ched in Edmonton. He's reading the story, and this is a commercial that they did, I think, in the 80s. The radio version of the commercial has been around again for much longer, but this is the TV version. And it's not Christmas till I see this, so now y'all get to suffer and watch this for a whole whopping 5 minutes.
Here's hoping that here we go.
News is this snow and blowing snow should clear off by later today, and it should turn out to be a great day for 630 Ched Santa's Anonymous.
His hair was shoulder length, his youthful face hid behind an abundance of shaggy beard. Over tight, faded blue jeans and an old bulky knit, he had thrown his pride and joy, a sheepskin wrap. It had a hole in the center through which he put his head. It was without arms, fell front and back down past his waist to his mid-thigh, and it was gathered at the waist with a chain. His 68 Chevy moved slowly through the streets. It stopped, then started again, making a U-turn at the corner where the driver gazed through the darkness of the night to view the street markers. He was in unfamiliar territory. The houses were one-room frame, and most of them were bare of paint. Lights were few and glowed softly behind polythene, which substituted for storm windows. Up one side of the deserted street, down the other. Then on to the next block, the old Chevy made its way. It stopped. The door opened, and the young man with the long hair and the beard and the faded jeans and the sheepskin coat got out on the passenger side and walked to the gate of the house that was a duplicate of all those around it. He walked slowly up the walk, trying to see the house numbers through the dark. He read them. Satisfied that this was the place, he returned to his car, opened the trunk, and removed 2 large brown shopping bags like they use in the supermarkets. He returned to the front door of the old house and knocked gently. No answer. He knocked again. Then he heard the sound of children. The door opened, and in a brief second, through the dim light inside, he saw poverty at Christmas time. The floor was bare. 3 little children were playing there with an old cardboard box. The kitchen table was covered with tattered oilcloth and was surrounded by 4 bare wooden chairs. A double bed sat in one corner, sagging but neatly made, and a small electric stove sat against the wall. A young woman, perhaps in her late 20s, but looking tired and older than her years, came to the door, scooping up the smallest child as she did. The other child, who had opened the door, looked at the stranger outside, then stepped back, glancing quickly at her mother. "Good evening, ma'am. These are gifts for the little ones from Santa's Anonymous," the young man said. The mother looked a long moment at the long-haired, bearded youth with the outlandish sheepskin jacket. She took the 2 shopping bags filled with gaily wrapped Christmas gifts and quickly looked at the bright display of parcels. Her eyes welled up with tears, and she could bring herself to say only an almost inaudible thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. And by the way, have yourself a very Merry Christmas.
And then it happened, just as his foot hit the top step of the old porch. As the door was about to close behind him, a small child's voice said,
"Mommy, was that Jesus?"
It hit Trip hammer hard, and the young man stopped for the briefest moment. His chin dropped to his chest, and an almost overwhelming emotion swept through him. He walked slowly now to his ancient car, crawled in behind the wheel, sat there for a moment trying to get a deep breath. He wiped a tear off his bearded cheek and drove off into the night. It hadn't happened before. It might not ever happen again. But that small child in that small house on Maple Street gave this strange lad in the sheepskin coat the most beautiful Christmas gift he had ever received.
It is delivery day, which means a very busy day for our volunteers. And this year we have 25,000 children's names on our list. We could use some help.
So that's, like I said, that was a televised version of a radio version of a commercial, basically read by the guy that started that particular thing. And it does bring up, if you don't have money to donate, you don't have, a lot of anything, of a surplus of anything, maybe you have some time. So like I said, look up your local Christmas charities, whatever they may be, and see what you can do, if anything. And that's my soapbox spiel for this, because it's Christmas because I've watched that video.
Yay!
Yay! Thank you all. Thank you to the about 8 people here who stuck around to watch that with us. And yeah. Any last questions, comments? We cleared everything out.
No, that's about it. Just
making fun of Monopoly.
Bantering about Monopoly. Getting another Monopoly.
Christian's even left, probably.
No, he's messaging me directly now. Just he's PMing me to put the volume up and and I'm like,
why did you let him put that on there?
Come on the show.
I said he's fired.
Click on the link. Come here and you do it.
Yeah. But thank you again, everybody. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Mackenzie, for joining me, showing off the games. Again, TheRatHole.ca/who for all of my specifically Doctor Who game reviews. TheRatHole.ca is all of my reviews in general. Right now, it is the Christmas review series. So every week I've got a different Christmas review going up. Again, and then linktree/TheRatHole.ca gives you links to our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and of course just the website itself. Like, subscribe. Let's see if you can get me to 42,000 by Christmas.
Right.
If I can get to 400, I'd love it. I've never pushed my social media that much. But it's one of those things, especially now that I can't talk to publishers in person. That's what they look at.
That's the only way you can now right now.
So it costs you nothing to just put up with my spam when I post new stuff. We have content sometimes 7 days a week, a little bit less this time of year. So hopefully you got some, you'll find something you like and maybe find a new game to play and send it out as a Christmas gift.
Yep. Yeah. Lots of good food for thought. So thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good night and goodbye.
And to all, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a